Hey, friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. It's a beautiful day here in Johnson City. I'm a little tongue-tied, but I am super excited for you guys to meet my guest today. She just seems to be one of those people that inspires you just by getting to know her. So, Kalen Arnold, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I am too. Our friends at Maypop Media, Mitch and Marissa, hooked me up with you. And so I am excited to get to know you. So I did a little research. You own a fitness studio, I believe.
I do. I own a ladies only fitness studio and a ladies only 24-hour gym. And I love it. Sorry, dudes, you're not allowed to come. It's all about the girls in there. And it's all about coming in and forgetting about being a mom, being a wife, doing everything that you got going on, and simply just having fun and forgetting about anything else besides yourself for 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Well, Johnson City Living Podcast. So number one, what do you love most about Johnson City?
Honestly, I love how close it is. Like everybody knows everybody, which can be bad at times, but everybody knows everybody. And you can walk in a store and people will be like, hey, there's a Lady Fit. And I'm just like, what's up? Or you go and you see somebody that you grew up with that you hadn't seen in a while. And it's simply just like, okay, you can go on social media and you can still meet new people. And you have all these like close knit like groups and restaurants that are downtown.
Yeah, I think I love that bit about it too. Like you go to the grocery store, you see somebody, you go to the coffee shop, you see somebody, you're at the car wash. It's like, it just feels very tight knit community. Yes. And you're excited to see those people. It's not like you're like, oh, there's Kalen over there. I'm not going to talk to her. I hope she doesn't see me. It's like, hey, what's going on? How are you? And like, we really love each other here, I think.
Yes, I believe that
is a big part of it. Okay. Well, that's what we get as a lot of the answers is the people here in the community and that kind of thing. So where did you grow up?
So I'm actually from Bluntful, Tennessee, good old Bluntful. I moved to Johnson City when I was 20 years old and been here ever since.
Gotcha. So you're an East Tennessee gal from way back.
Yes, definitely. Born and raised.
I love it. I love it. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Sullivan Central.
Okay.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Hey, no judgment here. I love Sullivan County. My wife went to Sullivan East.
Okay. So, my kids will go there.
Yeah. Yeah. Patriots, right?
Yes.
Yes. So she was a cheerleader, big Patriot fan. We love it. And we still have some family up in Bristol, kind of close to Bumble. Okay. So Lady Fit, like you just decided to, one day you woke up and you're like, I'm going to start a fitness studio. So is that how it came down? Or?
I wish it was that easy. No, I actually been in teaching fitness for 10 years. So I started as a single mom. I kind of needed an outlet and I had a 1-year-old. So I actually took a Zumba class in Bristol and went and was like, I'm going to go teach this, and got certified in Bluefield, West Virginia, which was way away from me. So I went and did that. I started teaching actually at the rec center.
Okay.
Did that for 4 years. And then September, actually it was 7 years ago this month, I opened my first studio.
Nice.
And then 5 years ago, I decided that Lady Fit needed to be created. So I needed to have girls who got that, fitness isn't one size fits all,
right.
That, you don't have to be a size 2 or be, have abs and all this perfect, because I don't look like that, that you can come in with broken and losing yourself and having no confidence. And to me, that's what it's about, like building confidence back up and showing girls that you can be any size and you can have fun working out. Actually come in there and you can enjoy, gain confidence, and you can find your worth again.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think inspired you to get into fitness, or like?
So I actually started it because I've had an eating disorder and struggled with my own body since I was 15. I'm closer to 40s and 30, so that's a long time. So I kind of struggled with my own body. So when I started it, I was still in the midst of my eating disorder, and it was one of those like, oh, I'm going to go teach fitness, because I was already working out all the time. So I started that, and then I actually, in my 30s, I met my husband now, and he was like, okay, we're going to stop. So I kind of got into fitness as an outlet, but then realized it was my passion, that helping and teaching girls that they can love their own bodies no matter what size they are and no matter where they are in their journey. At 98 pounds or 160 pounds, I had to learn to love myself as what I was.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, that is fine.
Yeah. And so I think there are a lot of people out there with disorders and that kind of thing, and they don't know where to go or what to do. What would if somebody's out there listening right now that's got a eating disorder or some kind of, they're not feeling great about themselves, what would be some advice coming from someone who looks like they've kind of gone through that and come out the other side?
First off, like, you got to love yourself, and you have to realize that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to get help. It's okay to go to therapy. Pray, God will help you. I promise. That's what got me here. You can honestly love yourself, but it's a daily thing every single day. Like, you can't just wake up and you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, every day you have to learn to love yourself. And, whether you're starting your fitness journey in the middle of it or learning to love your body, you have to honestly just look in the mirror and see what you love and stop focusing on the flaws and stop focusing on the things that you don't like about yourself.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And I love that the Lord is a big part of it. As a believer, I always tell people, God doesn't make junk, right?
No.
But the devil's going to tell you he did. And so Carly, my wife, and I, we're always like, how do we pray for this person? How do we encourage them?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I think that's what we're called to do, right? And that's why our area is so beautiful.
Yes.
Because we love and encourage each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my studio's I was actually talking to him last night. It's like one big family. Like, we had a lot going through some stuff lately, and it's like, they're like, how can we pray for them? Like, you don't always get that in a gym setting, and you don't get that, especially when you have a bunch of girls with different background. When you have 30 girls in there, and it's not toxic, it's not catty, it's everybody truly is wanting to see you, like, hit your goals, and they want to see you do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, okay, well, let me pray for you now. You don't always get that. So it's one thing I love about what I've built, that I gave it to God. And I'm like, okay, do what you want to do. And then here we are, so,
Yeah.
And I'm reaching so many girls, even outside of Johnson City, who are like, we need this in our area, and they don't have it. And I'm like, let me get it there,
So is that kind of the vision for Lady Fit, is to have like multiple studios across the country?
I will not become a franchise yet. I actually am having my first certification October 15th after my birthday.
Oh.
And I will actually I have 3 states right now coming in to be certified to teach Lady Fit classes.
Oh, nice. So you're
Yes.
going to like instruct the instructors.
Yes.
And then they go back and repeat.
Yes. And they can teach Lady Fit. And I'm hoping they have the little girl gang and the little community that I've created. That's what I'm praying for.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. And I think it is hard to, make, like I said, franchise. I was thinking that, and I think it's hard to replicate that well. And so it sounds like you've kind of thought through it and prayed over it. And
yes.
So yes, like, hey, here's how it works, and here's how it looks. And you've been doing it for 7 years, you said, right?
10 years.
10
years.
So you got it down pat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm taking everything I've learned at all these certifications and going to make one.
I love it. I love it. So tell us, I think, where's the studio located for people in town and people out of town coming by?
So I'm actually on the Bristol Highway. I'm by Wing Deer Park. My studio is on the Bristol Highway, and my 24-hour gym is across the street behind Shell in the car wash.
Oh, yeah.
So it is 24 hours, and you can come and go as you please, and sometimes you're by yourself. But what I love is I have girls that'll go in there and be like, I met your new girl. I'm like, were you nice to her? Like, please welcome the new girls. But they will be like, oh yeah, we showed them what to do. Don't worry. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So
like when you come in, you have to be friendly.
Yes.
That's part of the,
that is part of the thing. You must be nice to them.
Well, and it's just for ladies, although you're not anti-guys because you're married.
I'm married and I actually have 2 boys. So yes.
Tell us about your family.
So I have 2 boys. I'm definitely outnumbered at my house and get attacked by Nerf guns all the time. I have a 7th grader. That was a whole, like, throw him to the wolves when he got in middle school. And then I have a 3rd grader.
Uh-huh.
And then I've been with my husband now for almost 9 years.
Awesome. What's his name?
Brandon Arnold.
Brandon. Okay, cool. Well, we've got boys, and I understand. Carly, I think, knows being outnumbered and what that's like, for sure. So, okay, so you're going to start training the trainers.
Yes.
And then how is that going to continue? How do you see that playing out?
What
are you praying?
I'm praying.
Right.
Literally, I'm praying that, so my first one is in October, that I won't have another till February. I'm praying that, honestly, I can be in multiple states, and that I personally can go visit these and, like, let girls actually meet me and get to see that, like, anyone can do what I do. It's not that hard. It's all about passion and heart. And I know there's better trainers, there's better instructors, but, like, at the end of the day, I know this is what I was, born to do and what I was supposed to do. So it's like, I've always said, you got to have a passion to do it. So my whole heart's in it. Sometimes it's in it. My husband's like, okay, you need to reel it in just a little bit, but I'm praying that, honestly, that by the end of next year that I have at least 15 instructors.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's my goal.
What is, like, if you're maybe talking to a potential instructor now over there, what would that person look like in your mind, or what kind of qualities are you looking to find in an instructor?
I want a real girl. I want a girl who has a passion for it. And I want a girl who, maybe has wanted to teach fitness. And most of them I've talked to, they wanted to, but they were scared or didn't know how to even start, or they honestly were like, I just couldn't walk into the certification, do it. Cause it is scary. Like the very first one I went to, there was probably 75 girls in there. I mean, that's a lot for somebody who's never done anything. So I'm looking for the girls who have a passion to do it, who enjoy helping other girls, who, at the end of the day, like you don't have to have this perfect body or whatever. Like you just got to get up there and enjoy it and truly get that what you're doing is helping ladies.
Yeah. Okay. So we got what we were looking for. There are going to be challenges involved there, right? What were some of the biggest challenges you've had with the whole Lady Fit? Being an entrepreneur solo,
yes,
it's just you. So what are some of the hard things you've had to overcome?
Jokes aside, honestly, my page just got hacked. So that was probably the biggest thing. Like, so I had 216,000 followers and it got hacked.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's okay. I built it again and it's coming back stronger. So I was actually telling my girls last night, I was like, when they ask me what's one thing, don't get hacked. That's going to be my joke. Honestly, the biggest thing that I have learned through all this is stay true to yourself. Like, obviously in this area, there's box gyms everywhere. There's fitness centers popping up everywhere. And I've never lost vision of who I was. And I have girls that's been with me for 8 years, 9 years, 7 years. And they even say, you never change. I'm never going to change my vision. Even if I've been told if I had dudes, it'd be better. If I had this, my visions always stayed true to who it was. And I feel like I've stayed true to who I am. And even if I'm a little crazy and I'm like, I got so much going on. I think the biggest thing going into a business, if you're in the middle of your business, is don't forget your why. Yeah. Don't forget what you started doing and why you did it. No matter if you get huge and go viral or you just help in your small community, like make sure you stay true to who you are.
Right. Yeah. I love that. So it sounds like you're a goal setter.
I'm a big goal setter.
I love it. Okay. So for some folks listening, I'm a goal setter as well. Tell me how you like to set goals. What does that look like for you and your husband? And like, how do you kind of plan that out? And then what are some steps in reaching those? Just for the average Joe.
The average Joe, honestly, don't rush it. Like, do not rush whatever it is that you're trying to do. I have expanded my studio 3 times. The last time I expanded from like 1,000 square feet to I'm in 2,000 square feet in the middle of the pandemic, like being closed down. So that was a God thing.
That's awesome.
So do not rush it. Like everything that you want will happen when it's supposed to happen. Yeah. And when you do rush it is when you're going to fail. I hate to say that. Like there's a few things that I've tried and it's like, okay, that wasn't what I was supposed to do, but I rushed into it because that's what I wanted to do, not what I was supposed to do. So set goals that are small. Like even if it's like monthly goals, like I have a goal, like I want this many people in my gym a month. I want this many girls in classes, I want to reach this far. And then like 6-month goals, I think, but then I write everything down. So I have like a planner that I got and it's like, this is how I'm going to attain it. This is what I'm going to do. This is my 5-year goal. So
I love it.
Start small, but anybody can do what they want to do if they just sit down, make a plan and put their head down and hustle. And when the things come, like you're going to have so much thrown at you that you have to just keep going.
Right. That's why I asked the challenging question there earlier. Yeah. So pandemic, you doubled. It sounds like.
I actually did.
That's cool.
I hate being that way because I know other trainers who lost their gyms and, and they actually still check on me and they're like, you're doing good. But it was a blessing in disguise, even though for the 7 weeks I thought I was going to lose everything and lose my name and what I built because I'd only had it for 3 years. But it was like, God's like, nope, we got to have faith, Kalen. And I actually ended up moving into my dream studio that I have now. And my numbers actually ended up almost tripling now.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
That is cool. Yeah. And I love what you said too. You break them down. And so like even day to day, right? I mean, you gotta, if it's a workout thing, like I go to the gym on a regular basis. So if I don't go, I'm not getting towards that goal of staying healthy. And so my goal is, it's not sexy, but it's sitting on the porch when I'm 95 with my wife, watching our grandkids and our rocking chairs with our dogs, just hanging out and just, being fit enough to play with them and in shape enough. And so I want to be that fit granddad that's like out working his kids later on,
Love it. Yes.
So I think but if I don't go to the gym today, that doesn't play out, right? Because you just get into a routine of not going and it's a lot easier to not go, right?
Yes.
Talk to us about building habits that you found. How have you done?
you got to want it. So, and I actually did my own podcast on this the other day. And here's the thing, like, you go to the gym one day and you don't see results. So you go to the gym the next day and you still don't see results. Are you going to quit?
Right.
No. You know, you start your business and it's been 2 months and you don't see any like growth in it. Are you going to quit? Most people will. No. So your habit, you have to want it. Like, the motivation is going to go away. You can read 1,000 motivational quotes. I'm big on quotes. If you follow me on any social media, I'm a quotes girl. It's got me through some of the worst depression moments that I've had. So like, you have to want it. Like, at the end of the day, like, no one's going to make you do that job. No one's going to make you have that dream. No one's going to make you go work out. So you have to want it for yourself. You know, excuses don't burn calories. My girls even like, well, I'm lazy. And I'm like, well, okay, just be lazy, but walk through the door. So you told me you'd be here tonight.
Right.
You know, tough love. I'm all about some tough love. My own kids know.
Same here.
Yes, like tough love. My kids are like, Mom, and I'm like, nope, we're not going to be through that. This is what we're going to do. So you got to just want it. Like, even the days, like you said, that you don't want to go, there's days I don't want to go to the gym because I go work out by myself every morning. You just got to be like, okay, let's go. You got goals.
Yeah. That's tough that you go by yourself. Like, I'm an accountability guy. Like, I've got friends at our gym, and if I'm not, I know they're going to be there in my brain. Like, I tell myself, they're there, they're waiting on me, you know. And one of them's an Ironman guy, and he's training every day. And so I was on a bike beside him, and I was like, all right, I'm not an Ironman guy, but I can try and so I beat him this morning, Aaron. Sorry, on the distance, and he was like, "What?" And so, but yeah, I think having accountability also helps, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of how Lady Fit. It sounds like you have a community.
Yes.
That's pulling together, and
we do. And people even will ask, they're like, have you heard from such and such? Where are they at today? You know, so like, we know who comes to what classes. And even I have virtual classes, and I have girls all over the world now, and they'll even be like, hey, I worked out. And I'm like, okay, I'm proud of you, because, you know, I can see if you worked out, but I'm going to be like, why didn't you do class this week?
Yeah.
Because to me, like, I don't want you to buy a program or, you know, join my gym or whatever, and then you never hear from me. Like, I want you to know that I'm watching you and I'm cheering for you. And when you message, you know, my page or message me on social media, you're actually talking to me. You're not talking to one of my assistants. You're not talking to a girl that helps me run a page. You're talking to Kalen, because I honestly, like, I want to be your big cheerleader. I want you to know that there's a community out here and a girl gang that truly supports you, and you're not doing this alone.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people, you know, buy programs and feel like they're alone. So I'm like, nope, I got you, girl.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think having people reach out and, like, you know, marking, right? I've got a coach on the business side of it, and so he holds me accountable as well. And like, so if I don't report what I've done, then he's like, hey, where you at? What you been doing? And so I think that's a huge part of it, because people don't want to. They need help.
Yes.
Right. We all need help. We need somebody
help.
to help us through the difficult times. We need somebody to inspire us. We need somebody to hold us accountable and push us.
Yes.
You know? And so I think that's cool. And so building that community, if you're out there listening and you're moving to Johnson City and you want to be a part of that, and if you don't want to be, you know, move to Johnson City, but you can still be a part of it. It sounds like online. Is that right? You have a huge online community that's growing?
I do have one, and I actually just got in Australia, and Canada loves me. Canada loves me. they found me on social media, and like, they love me.
That's because they can't leave the country.
I know, right? I'm just
they're all locked down up there.
But they're like, can you come visit? I'm like, I don't think I can visit up there. I don't think that's allowed right now, you know.
You cannot. If you go, you can't come back.
So I'm sorry. I have to stay in Johnson City, you know. My girls need me. But yeah, so you can actually do my classes with me live at 5:30 Eastern, or you can actually play them back. And I have a lot who are, you know, time zone wise, so they do them later, and they'll message me and be like, hey, I did it, or oh, I can't move. And I'm like, you're welcome. I don't know what else to say, but you're welcome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I want to reach every lady who needs me, you know, like I have some coming here to do the certification. They're like, we can't wait. You know, I have others who are like, Johnson City is where? I'm like, racetrack, UT, Dollywood. I'm in the middle.
Right in there. Yeah. And check Fox News, because we're number 3 in the country to move to.
Oh yeah. True.
I mean,
true.
Everybody's heard of our secrets out. Everybody's heard about Johnson City. So that's exciting. So what are some, like, 5, like, it sounds like, since you're a goal planner, I'm going to push on that a little bit. What are your big goals out there, like 5 years from now? What are you looking at?
I honestly would love, I'm going to tell my secret because no one really knows. I honestly would love for my 24-hour gym to be in the Tri-Cities, in different places. Like, I would like to have one in, like,
multiple locations.
Yes, I'd like to have, like, Elizabeth and Bristol, Kingsport. And I thought that was actually what my next goal was. And God's like, hey, no, we're going to have certifications next.
Yeah.
So that would be my 5-year goal. And I honestly, I want to retire my husband so he can work for me.
Ah, that's awesome. What does
Yeah.
he do now?
He's actually my mind just went blank. A machinist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and he's like, I don't know if I want to work for you. I'm like, but I need help. So let me retire you. You can come work for me. And he's just like, okay, Kalen.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. He's like, it's ladies only. I'm like, you don't have to step foot in anything. I just need you to do the side that I hate to do, you know?
I love it. And I read too, and I'm sure you've heard this, but if you said you write down your goals, and so if you write them down, I think the chances of them becoming real or you attaining them is like 10 times more or 100 more than if you don't.
So my planner is actually, if you open it up, like I have everybody for like all my personal training clients that I train during the day, they're all wrote down in pencil. And then in all these pretty little markers is all these like, you know, you got this. And like, you know, this was my goal for this. And I hit it. Like I write down what my goals are for the week, even if it's just one word, you know, and like when my page actually got taken, I was like, you will come back bigger. And it's been 2 weeks and I have slowly actually gotten bigger and reached more girls who needed me, you know? So it's kind of like, if you see them every single day or every other day, you know, you're like, oh, I can do that. Like read them every day. You don't need to just, you know, okay, well, there's my goal and we'll toss it, you know, to the side. No, get up and read it and look at it and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So retire my husband. I'm going to write down every day.
I love it. Well, and that was another thing. A guy I follow, Grant Cardone, he's a real estate guy. Like, and so he writes down his goals every day in the morning and in the evening. He likes rewrites them.
Yeah.
And so it just really, I think, cements them. And we get distracted, right? Like I could be, you know, I got to go sell a house today or whatever. But then I'm like, oh, I'm interested in Lady Fit. And then I'm going to get over here on my podcast and I'm going to talk to Mitch. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't sell a house today. You know, I didn't connect with anybody to help them with their real estate stuff. So you got to stay focused. And I think that's where writing them down. Let's say you're talking to somebody out there who is also a fitness owner, studio owner. What would be some advice you give them, you think?
Love what you do. I get asked that all the time. Do you really love what you do? Like, do you ever get tired? Of course I get tired. I'm very hyper and I never stop. But anybody that's doing fitness, like love what you do. And like, you can tell the ones who like, and please don't somebody come attack me. You can tell the ones who do it from the heart and you can tell the ones who really want it, you know?
Right.
And after 10 years, sometimes I get burnout and sometimes like I get messages from girls because I am a life coach. And so like, you know, I get all these stories. And when I wrote my book, all these people came and were telling me like, oh, I understand what you've been through. I understand all this. So it's like, once you get into fitness, like the passion is there. And like, I get on my stage every night. It sounds so like, woo, I get on my stage, but I get on my stage every night. And it's like, I'm not there for me. Like, I'm not there for me. Like you're there for your girls. You're there for your clients. Like you're there for whoever you're training at that moment. Like be in the moment, put your phone down. Like, you know, yes, social media goes crazy. You have emails, but literally give that person, that client, or those, you know, girls that you're training everything you got for that like time being, because they paid you to do this. Like they paid you to show up to help them, you know, get healthy and get fit. So like give them all you got for whatever time period it is.
Yeah. I love it. Like being present, being focused. I think the world's very distracted right now.
Very
like
distracted.
Sometimes, you know, even you and I may be here talking and I could be on my phone and you're like, this guy doesn't care about me. You know,
I'd be like he brought me coffee.
Right,
so that's all I
and
care.
then like, and so then you're just like, you know, and so it just really hurts the relationship. And so it sounds like you are putting it all out there. And so, and that you love what you do, right?
Absolutely.
Because you love your people.
Yes.
And if you didn't, it wouldn't work, you know? And so I think it all comes back to love, right? You know, and that's what we're commanded to do is love each other. And so I love that. Carly and I love selling houses. We love helping people. It's like, I was telling somebody else the other day, it's like a house is a house is a house, right? But the family or the people or couples who are, help some people move to Texas, and this is their last move, right? And so I sold them a house 19 years ago, and then we just sold it again for them to move to Texas to be near their kids so they can get in assisted living and be, and you're just like, man, you know, I'm a part of these people's lives and just being able to help them and take great care of them. And it's a huge blessing.
Yes,
and so
that's awesome.
We don't take it lightly. We love our people. And I think, hopefully you guys feel that out there because that's what we love to do. We love to do. Okay. So how can people get on, like figure out where you are online? What's your website or your new handle since you?
So my new handle is still Lady Fit Studio.
Got it.
So it is still Lady Fit Studio on Facebook, but there are still 2 out there since one of them is not taken down yet. So make sure that you get the one that I have a green shirt on in that picture. I literally am like, I'm like, I have the green tank top on. That's the page, like, and follow the other page. Or you can reach out to me personally, Kalen. I think my Facebook's actually Kalen Johnson Arnold. And then I'm on TikTok because I love to dance. So I'm
cool.
on TikTok, okay?
So my son's probably seen you.
Yeah, probably doing those crazy dances. I'm like, I am not teen anymore. Why do I think I can do this stuff? And then my website is just ladyfitstudio.com.
And you said you're on Instagram too?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, and it's my name too. It's Kalen Arnold.
Nice. And so I don't even know why people would want to steal somebody's page. I don't get that. You know, like, I don't know. It's just evil. And
I've had some like nice words for them, and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? You know?
Right. And how do I love them?
Yes. Even though, you know, they're halfway across the world. And I hope when I share this, they hear this and they're like, what? I'm like, yep, it's okay. You took it. I'm building it back. I got a big community and I got a good tribe that's like, you're not going anywhere. We're just going to keep pushing you. So.
Yeah, I love it. Now, you said you wrote a book.
I did write a book. I actually released it April during the pandemic.
Cool.
But I did. It's actually called Know Your Worth and Add Tax. It's kind of like my phrase.
Know your worth and add tax.
And add tax.
Okay.
So like, you know, you got to know your worth, but then add tax because you're a little bit better than that. You know, you're amazing.
That's great.
So it's actually tattooed on me. I'm not going to lie.
Nice.
But it's actually, most people know, if you know me, that's my phrase. Like I post it all the time. But I did write a book. It's actually about how, you know, I've had challenges with mental health and, you know, trying to end my life and some things that I've been through and things in my past. And, you know, I had a drinking problem in my 20s and then I started fitness. And like during all of this, like in my 20s, I'm not going to lie. Like I was like, okay, why God, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I the one going through all this? And then it was like 30 hit and it was like, okay, I get my story. So I kind of just put it all out there, literally put it out there, and shared the majority of everything that I've been through. You know, you still have to have those little things that you keep to yourself.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I put it out there because I felt like God was saying, okay, you need to let people know that you can go through all these storms. You can go through all the stuff that you've been through and you can come out on top of it. Like, you know, you don't have to, if you have, you know, depression or anxiety, like that doesn't have to be it. Like, you know, I did have, I'm not going to lie, I had anxiety walking over here because I was downtown by myself, you know, but it was kind of like, you can go through things and your story has a purpose. You can go through things and you can share because someone else has been there and needs to know that they can come through it too. And you didn't deserve anything that you went through, no matter if, you know, people said you did or whatever. So yes, I wrote a book and I actually am working on my second one.
What's the first one called?
Know Your Worth and Add Tax.
Okay. And where can people listening find that?
Amazon.
It's
on Amazon.
Isn't that cool that anybody can write a book nowadays and just,
it's so weird.
If you want to order one or order 1,000 of them, you can do it right on Amazon.
I was going to sell 5 and I sold more than 5. So praise Jesus.
Hey, girl, that's awesome.
So yeah.
And then you also have a podcast.
I do have a podcast.
Hey, I'm a podcaster.
Me too. Yes, because I love tacos. It's a joke that I'm a fitness instructor who eats tacos all the time.
Well, and today we have Taco Tuesday every Tuesday at our house. We either go out or tacos, and so yeah, we love tacos too. Where's your favorite place in town to get tacos?
It was Amigos, but I'm going to shout out
the
new. Have you been to the new one in Gray by the Food City? Okay, you need to go there. It is probably the best Mexican in this area.
Really?
Yes, I used to actually work at El Chico, and it was really good. I was one of the servers there. So I worked and it was really good. And then Amigos became my favorite. I don't know what that. Yes, go there. And then let me. It's amazing.
All right, I love it. What's your favorite taco you like to get? You like the street one or like just hard shell ground beef?
I like the street ones. Okay. And I actually usually eat tacos when I go. I eat tacos at home, but I like any Mexican. I have no shame. I love enchiladas. I love the taco salad. You know, I love the amigo salad with like the, you know, all the other stuff in it. It all.
Okay, so as a life coach too, let's get into eating a little bit, right? Because it's part of the fitness thing. Like if you reach goals, you're going to work out, but you can't just eat a pizza and a bag of donuts every day for lunch. You know, right? So tell us about some things and health wishes people who are listening.
That are easy. Oh, I like
it because we eat out, right? I mean, just it's an eat out, harder to go to the grocery store, buy all the stuff, come home, fix it up, about the same expense wise if you go and eat out, maybe a little bit more.
So I actually have an app for that.
Oh, cool. So look at this. I'm just leading you into the whole.
I'm like, oh, I got an app for it. So actually, I hate cooking. Like, alive for 3 years being a single mom. I have out probably frozen pizzas. I don't know.
Granola bars.
Yes, I do not cook. Praise Jesus, my husband cooks for us every single night because I hate it. So I do a lot of like taco and burrito bowls, like just some ground chicken. You have some black beans and some corn. Throw some pico on there. Bam, there's your meal. Like super easy.
Do you like going to bar burritos? Have you been
I
there?
love bar burritos.
So that's one of our favorite spots. We see literally when we kept, that's how we kept our boys alive. We'd go to bar burritos. We were there 4 or 5 nights a week, it felt like, because we'd eat there for like $14.
Yeah.
I think we were wearing my friend out who owns it. He's like, what are you doing? You're like, you're getting out of here for $15, but it was perfect. But we love the same thing. Little beef, little chicken, little whatever. And you can put it on the grill with a little Chipotle honey's vinaigrette.
Oh, that's good too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So yes, shout out to Barbaritos, one of the best little.
I might need that for lunch.
Little
today.
spot today. Yes, it's fantastic. However, I get the queso and chips, and I eat way too many chips and queso. But
I get the burrito bowl, but then I have to have the sour cream and the guacamole. You know, you got to have all that on there.
So we like all that stuff too. We get a taco in a bowl, so it's a lot smaller portion, but you still get all the flavors. You get all the stuff. We don't need that.
We don't need no smaller portion. Listen, if I'm going to
blow
go
it
eat
out.
there, I'm going to eat there.
I'm gonna eat that.
I work out twice a day for it. I'm just kidding.
Well, and that's kind of my thing. Like I'm like, I eat out or work out so I can eat out, and I can eat whatever I want. But you can't do that, right?
No, you can't. Sadly, you can't. You cannot outrun your fork, and you can't sit here. And I tell people, I hate the word fat. My kids think it's a bad word, honestly. But one salad's not going to make you skinny. One hamburger's not going to make you, fat. Like it's really honestly like portion control and balance. And I tell people all the time, I have to be Julia Michaels. Like I want to be a bad butt like her, but I can't do it. Like, you want a cookie, eat a cookie. Don't eat the whole sleeve cookies, eat a cookie.
Right.
If you're out with your friends and they're having, a piece of pizza, eat a piece of pizza. It's called life. Like really have to live your life, not be like, oh, I'm going to be so strict. Like if that's the life you want to live, but I'm going to, I'm going to have my toes. I'm going to have, my Barbaritos today probably for lunch now, because it's you have one life, enjoy it.
Yeah. I think that, and I think, one, the Lord made our bodies to need food, right?
Yes.
So we need it 3 times a day. So I think if you were to be so strict that it steals any joy from eating, I don't think that's what he was about, right?
Yeah, no, I've already done that life, and I'm not going to do that again.
Our pastor told us, he was in a sermon. He'll probably listen to this and get on me, but he said, Jesus was either going to a meal, out of a meal, or leaving a meal. Like that, he goes, that joker was eating. And I was like, you call Jesus a joker? But it's true, right? And so like we get across from people, and so you get to know people at a meal. And so don't just eat a meal, but eat it with someone else too, and get to know them. And
put your phone down and get to know the people that are sitting there with you.
Amen, sister. Yes, put your phone down and get to know people for sure. Okay. What did I not ask you? I hit your app. I've got your online stuff. We're Instagramming. We're Facebook posting if people still do that. And that's how old I am on the stuff. And then, you've got a book you can buy there. What else is there that I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I think that's all about me.
That's all.
Yeah. The biggest thing, I guess, for anybody listening is you got a fire that you got to use. Like you're going to have setbacks and you're going to have moments like, okay, that's not work, or, or you're going to think that you can't keep going. You can keep going. You just got to find a circle of community, and that's what we're talking about. Johnson City's got this, tight community. You got to find people in your group, even if it's one person, one friend's better than, 100 pennies. It's better than 4 quarters is better than 100 pennies. So find one person that you can go to, find that community. If you're not local, or you're a guy or whatever, find the gym that you can walk into that you're not intimidated by. Walk into, find the place that you can go into, or the real estate agent that you can go and be yourself, who actually cares about you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can walk in and that there's people there supporting you. And it's not, like, I'm going to hit the alarm because you dropped your weights. That cracks me up at Planet Fitness, so I'm like, I want to drop it just so it can go off, but you got to find the community and the support. And once you find that, like, keep them tight. Invest
back into those people who are investing back into you. I'm with you. I do a little silly thing. It started probably 10 years ago called Fired Up Friday, because I met a bunch of people that day that were just like, wow. And you're like, dude, it's the weekend. Like, what's wrong with you? You get you're not working tomorrow. You're spending the weekend with your family. Why aren't you excited? It was kind of a cold and snowy day. And so I was like, all right, Lord, I'm hearing this. What do you want me to do? And so I just went out in front of my house and did a little video and said, I'm fired up. It is the weekend and we get to watch football and whatever it was. But he put it on my heart. And so like, I just keep doing it because I want to fire people up. And so I love that you said it's a fire within
Yeah.
you, right? And so, and the cool thing is you can fire yourself up. Like,
Yes.
I mean, if you sit here and you breathe differently and you do some push-ups and you get excited, you can change your state. You can change your energy. You can get out of that depressed mindset. You can surround yourself with good people. You can make good choices on food that are going to make you feel better. You can hydrate a ton. There are things you can do that are going to make you a better person for the day and a better person for you to love on other people's. And so
it all starts with yourself.
And it starts with yourself.
Like
it's a battle though, right?
It is a
it's
battle.
Right between your ears.
Yes,
like you got to talk yourself into it. You got to focus and you got to go to work.
You know, those like Debbie Downers, like, and they're just like, oh, poor pitiful me. And people who hate Mondays. I love Mondays. I'm like, yes, I get a new week. I get new goals. I get asked, am I really just hyper and excited? I'm very like, but I've always been this way. But I feel like you have one life. Like, you might as well just be excited about it. Like, you know, yes, things happen. Okay, well, pick yourself up and let's keep going. You know, you can have a pity party. You can forget who you are for a moment. But like, when you get back up, you bring a fire that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, every time I've been depressed, every time that something, you know, the devil's attacked me, which he has been lately, you know, every time that something's happened, like when I stand back up, like there's a fire that I had no idea that I even had inside of me. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, I need to simmer down. I'm getting a little hyper, you know, and even when I go start teaching classes, like especially my cardio, kick and dance, you know, there's 30 girls in there and they're looking at me to get them excited and them motivated. And I'm on stage stomping my feet and yelling, give me more. But you have to get yourself excited about life and yourself excited about what you bring to the table. And then other people want to be around you.
Oh, yeah.
Your energy is contagious. And it's like, you got to be like that. Don't be so like, okay, no one wants to be around that.
Yeah, they don't.
No, I hate those people.
And,
I'm like, ugh.
And you don't want to be around yourself.
No.
You know, I think that's part of it. You get into a spiral and you spiral down. We listened to our pastor told us you're either spiraling down or you're spiraling up, right? Towards the Lord, or you're going down. And it's not good going down. And so figuring out what gets you fired up and get you motivated is
and everybody's
huge.
Different. Like, I mean, find what it is that like sets your heart on fire, like, or that makes you want to jump out of bed and the devil be like, oh crap, she's up, you know? And like, when you get there, like, that's when you're like, okay, it's time. This is what I'm supposed to do. Like, everybody has a purpose. I've actually was just listening to a Steve Harvey book and he was talking about, you know, God gave you a purpose. Like, God gave you a reason. You were born, you're still here. And I wear my semicolon tattoo proudly. Like, I'm very much like, God saved me the times I tried ending it. You know, and my purpose is to help ladies just like me. You know, there's nothing like amazing, special, different about me. I just had a story and decided to use my voice. And here I am. And I've, you know, reached so many different people in so many different places because I decided to say, okay, God, I'm going to do what you say. Am I scared some days? Absolutely. But I really feel like once you find your purpose, your life just, you know, it changes.
Yeah.
That's a whole different podcast. There you go.
Well, and it is, but I think I think either this month or next month is Suicide Prevention Month.
It was September.
Yeah, so we're in it right now when we're recording this, and not to take you to a dark spot, but what would be something you tell somebody who's thinking about that, you know, who may listen to this and the Lord put this in their ears right now? What would you share with that person?
Keep going. And I know, and that sounds so cliche, but like, I have girls who've reached out to me and they're like, you saved me and didn't even know it. No, and keep going and talk to somebody. I have therapists in my studio who know I'm big on therapy. I've been in therapy, you know, since I was 19, but like, it's just a mountain and it's just a day. And like, tomorrow might be a little better and it may not be better. You know, like, you may be depressed and it may be going on for a few days, but like, every time that I've hit those low, and I still have them. I still have those moments, you know, and I'm very open about it. Like, I have one friend that I can go to and she's like, snap out of it, you know? So if you're going through that and you're like, you don't think anybody cares or you can't keep going, you honestly can. And I can tell you, you know, I've wrote the letters to my parents and my family and been like, I'm done. And my mom called me from church because I left church and she was like, I don't know what you're doing, but don't do it. You know? So it's like, I've been in the worst of the worst, you know, I've tried whatever, but it's just a bad day. And I know that sounds so stupid especially from somebody who's been there, but like, you can keep going, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's like one breath, one moment, 1 minute, like, just keep going.
Keep pushing. Keep going. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. And there
welcome.
are resources out there and people who love you. No matter who you are, there are people out there who love you and will do whatever they can to take care of you. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You did a great job. And if you ever want a guy on your podcast, I would be happy to do that. But I It doesn't sound like you want
No,
any
no,
guys
dude's
around.
allowed.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, thanks so much again. I enjoyed our conversation. Hope you guys as listeners did too. I hope you're a better for listening to Kalen Arnold today at Lady Fit. And thank you for coming on again. It was just
Well,
awesome.
thanks for having me.
And until next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you need to make a move to Johnson City or the Tri-Cities or anywhere in East Tennessee, give us a buzz. And we also manage a lot of property too. So if you want to invest in real estate, we would love to help you with that as well. Thanks and have a great day.